Welcome to NFL Imperialism. You may have seen this concept floating around YouTube, but I wanted to put my own spin on it by going through every season in the Super Bowl era and hopefully improving upon it. Before we get going, I humbly ask that you consider subscribing to the channel and dinging that bell icon for notifications. This is the channel's primary series, but we do other things as well in both the sports and the entertainment world. We're so glad you're here. Thank you very much. If you're interested in a full thorough breakdown of how imperialism works, feel free to take a look at the first 3 or so minutes of our initial video of the 1966 season. That video is linked on its own in the description below. Right beneath that is a link to a playlist of all completed imperialism videos to date. Otherwise, we're ready to start. Today we'll be getting into the 1993 season, a season which saw the Dallas Cowboys repeat as Super Bowl champions. That's not such a far-fetched thing. Their repeat was the 6th such occurrence in the Super Bowl era, and it's happened 2 times thereafter. But something else happened this season that had never happened before and hasn't happened since. The Super Bowl was a rematch from the previous season, as the Cowboys met the Bills once again. The final score of 30-10 made it appear as though the Bills were never in this game, but they led at halftime and had the ball with a chance to take a 2-score lead before it all fell apart. Appropriate, given that this was their 4th consecutive loss in the Super Bowl, a completely unprecedented accomplishment. They have a chance at redemption though. They bring a top 5 squad to the table, but the Cowboys still top this list with the 49ers still behind them. The usual suspects litter the bottom 5, with the exception of the Redskins, who are only 2 years removed from a dominant Super Bowl winning season. Who will win 1993 imperialism? Let's get this thing started and find out. 1993's first spin will be giving us the New Orleans Saints. They're going to head to the Northwest to take on the Houston Oilers. So the Saints, the last couple of seasons, have waited till later in the game to get involved. Here, they're in the first game. The Oilers took a 17-3 halftime lead before their offense stagnated in the second half. But here they've gotten it down to the 15-yard line. The pitch goes out to Gary Brown, more powerful than speedy, but he gets into the end zone there. That will extend the Oiler lead to 24-3. The defense really came to play in this one. 24-3 is going to be our final score. Speaking of the Oilers' defense, this was the season where they brought in Buddy Ryan to be their coordinator. It didn't work out in real life, but imperialism may tell a different story. The Oilers get the first win of the year, they take over the Saints' territory, and they expand their land. In a rare event for the Miami Dolphins, they're going to open their imperialism campaign with a home game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are coming to town. The Dolphins lead 17-3 in the third quarter. Scott Mitchell's at quarterback. This was the year Dan Marino tore his Achilles tendon. Mitchell throws a nice pass into the end zone to Mark Ingram for the touchdown. He corrals it near the back of the end zone. The Dolphins will extend their lead here to 24-3. Tampa Bay got on the board into the end zone before it was all said and done. The Dolphins win this game 24-9. Normally speaking, the wheel seems to find the Dolphins early and they wind up having to go into Tampa or Atlanta if they've taken the territory over. This time they got to play at home. They took care of the Bucs with very little problems, and they owned the entire state of Florida. We go back to the wheel, and for the second time it has selected the Pittsburgh Steelers. No expansion this time though. They've got to go and face the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. The Steelers reduced a 14-0 deficit down to 14-10, but the Bills are looking to get some insurance here. Jim Kelly will find Don Beebe in the end zone for the touchdown. That was very late in the game. It extends the Bills' lead to 21-10, and with no time left to respond, 21-10 will serve as our final score. The Bills will feel that 1992 imperialism got away from them. Their chance to get it back in 1993 has gotten off to a good start. They defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers, they take over their territory, and they expand their land. We're going to be requiring a close-up photo finish on this one. The Packers will head to the northwest, and as we see here, they're just going to bypass the Lions' territory and instead go into the territory of the Vikings. Green Bay at Minnesota is next. Both teams were in an offensive shell until the third quarter. The Vikings lead 6-0. Jim McMahon's going to fire this deep to Qadri Ismail, otherwise known as Missile Ismail. He makes the catch for the touchdown, giving the Vikings a 13-0 lead. Perhaps this is what Green Bay's offense needed to wake up. They've taken it down to the 4-yard line. It's 3rd and goal. Play action, Brett Favre drops it off to fullback Daryl Thompson. He takes it in the rest of the way. That's going to make this a 13-7 game. Green Bay gets a field goal. We're now in the fourth quarter. It's 13-10. They're facing 3rd and 12 from the Viking 45. Brett Favre's pass is awry. That's going to force a punt. The Vikings now have it at Green Bay's 45. They're going to pitch it out to Ismail. He goes straight down, giving Green Bay the ball back. Precious little time left. Favre fires deep to Sterling Sharp. He's going to make the catch, get a lot more yards. That's going to get the Packers into field goal range. As time ticks away, they're going to bring out kicker Chris Jackie. This will tie the game and put it into overtime. From 45 yards out, he lines it up. The kick is up, and it hooks, and it's no good. That looked like it was going through, but it did not. And the Vikings are going to hold on to win this one, 13-10. The Green Bay Packers signed Reggie White as a free agent in 1993, and it made the team a lot better, but they hadn't quite reached the level that they will in a few seasons. The Vikings win this game, they take over the Packers' territory, and they just add to their all-time Imperialism win total. The wheel and the arrow are in no mood to expand. We're getting a game again. The Eagles are going to travel to the northwest. That's going to get the Bills back on the field. They're going to be playing Philly. Once upon a time, this game was tied at 7 at the half. Not anymore. Already leading 21-7. This touchdown pass goes to Andre Reed to give the Bills an even larger lead of 28-7. As the fourth quarter played out, the teams exchanged touchdowns. Buffalo got one more on top of that. They win this game 42-13. The Buffalo Bills continue their run. They have successfully eradicated the state of Pennsylvania. They take over Philadelphia's territory, and with their second win, probably have the largest piece of land as it stands right now. The wheel seems quite invested with getting the Bills on the field. They are chosen and they are sent to the southeast. So now after 2 home games, they're going on the road to face the Redskins. From a strictly offensive standpoint, this game was a tough watch. The Redskins trail 7-2. Mark Rippon tries to squeeze a pass in. It's intercepted by Henry Jones. He's going to run it back in for a touchdown. This is actually Buffalo's second defensive touchdown of the game. That extends their lead to 14-2. In the second half, they kick a couple of field goals, and with no offensive touchdowns scored, Buffalo wins 20-2. Home teams had won every game this season up to this point, but the Bills break that streak. Through 6 games, the Bills have won 3 of them. They did it with defense this time. They take over the state of Maryland, knocking the Redskins off of the map, and they continue on their winning ways. We'll shift away from the Northeast for just a little bit and head to the Midwest. The Lions are chosen by the wheel. They're going to head straight south, slightly southwest, into the territory of the Indianapolis Colts. There's a reason why the Colts were listed at the bottom of the rankings. They trail 7-0 here. Barry Sanders from the 1-yard line is able to punch it in for the touchdown. The Lions extend out to a 14-0 lead. They hold steady on offense the rest of the game, but dominate on defense. They go into Indy and win this game 34-0. While the Colts are in the midst of several losing seasons, the Lions are holding steady as a fairly strong team. They go into Indianapolis, they take over their territory, and they expand their land. After we had a long run of games, we have a long run of expansion, and it leads us to the Raiders taking on the Rams. The Rams will be the home team. The Raiders entered the fourth quarter down 14-7, but they've driven it to the 6-yard line. The reverse here is going to go to the speedy and aptly named James Jett. He takes it in for the touchdown. That will tie things up at 14 apiece. The Raiders able to tack on a field goal, now lead 17-14. The Rams backed up facing a 4th and 6. Howie Long breaks through, gets the sack. The Raiders add one more touchdown and use a big fourth quarter to win this game, 24-14. The Battle of Los Angeles will go to the Raiders. They take over the Rams' territory and are now in control of Central California. We're down to 20 teams remaining as the wheel selects the Detroit Lions for the second time. They're going to head south, slightly southeast, catching the northwest corner of Ohio. That's going to put them up against the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland trails 17-7, but they have 3rd and goal at the 4-yard line. Tommy Vardell, known as Touchdown Tommy, living up to his name, breaks the plane, gives Cleveland that score. It's now 17-14. They're going to be lining up for the onside kick. Matt Stover is going to lay it down. The Lions get it. Herman Moore picks up some yardage on the return. That's going to lead to this quarterback sneak from Rodney Peete, restoring the Lions' 10-point lead at 24-14. Not a whole lot of time left for Cleveland to come back, and they were not able to come back. For the second straight game, we have a final score of 24-14. Home teams won the first 5 games of this season's Imperialism. Now, attacking teams have won 4. The Lions have 2 of those. They take over the Browns' territory, and they are looking like the team in the Midwest, but I bet the Vikings might have something to say about that. This next game will give us our 10th elimination. The Falcons are chosen. They're going to head to the south, and they're going to head to Miami and face the Dolphins. The first half of this game was quite explosive. Right here, Keith Byers fumbles. Darian Connor forces it. Mel Agee is going to pick it up, and we're going to pick up the speed on the video here. That was a touchdown for the Falcons. This pass to Mike Haynes is a touchdown. Now the Dolphins respond. Terry Kirby runs it through the middle, gets him a touchdown. The Dolphins mix in a couple of field goals here while the Falcons score that touchdown. And now Keith Byers goes around right end and is going to get in for his touchdown. All this takes place in the first half. The Dolphins will be trailing 21-20. The Falcons with that lead here in the third quarter. 3rd and goal from the 1. Bobby Hebert will pitch to Eric Pegram and he'll get in and score. The Falcons maintain their lead, extend it to 28-20. We now head to the fourth quarter. The Dolphins set up shop on the Falcon 18-yard line. Play action, Scott Mitchell to the end zone. Irving Fryer, a diving touchdown catch. What a play right there. The Dolphins kick the extra point but get the ball right back, and they've taken it down to 3rd and goal at the 7-yard line. 2:35 to go. The pitch goes to Terry Kirby. He has a path to the end zone, but the Falcons block it. Pete Stoyanovich will come out for his 3rd field goal attempt of the game and his 3rd make of the game. But the Falcons have time. They only trail by 2. 2nd and 10 from their own 49. Bobby Hebert. He's going to look deep to Andre Rison. He's covered, but he makes the catch. That'll put him in field goal range. It's 3rd and 1 from the 12. This is going to be a direct snap to Eric Pegram. They swallow it up. It'll make the field goal attempt harder, except that they're going for it. The Falcons trail by 2, but they're going for it. I don't really understand this. From the 17, play action, Hebert will look for Andre Rison, and Lewis Oliver, for the 2nd straight season, makes a game-clinching interception, and the Falcons have no one to blame but themselves for this one. The Dolphins win this game 30-28. With that victory, the Dolphins snap the 4-game winning streak for attacking teams, and the Falcons will have to bid adieu. The Dolphins take over their land, and for a little while here at least, look like they're going to be in isolation. This wheel seems to be in love with the Lions. It chose them to expand, and now it sends them to Chicago to face the Bears. Yet the Lions keep responding. 10-3 lead into fourth quarter. Rodney Pete's going to fire this into the end zone. Herman Moore will make the catch for the touchdown. That will extend the Lion lead to 17-3. The Bears tried valiantly to come back. They wound up taking a touchdown back as time expired. That will give the Lions a 17-10 victory. It's been a while since we've seen one of these Lion runs, but they're getting on one here in 1993. 3 consecutive road victories. They take over the Chicago Bears territory, and now they have an even bigger claim to being the team in the Midwest. For the first time in a while, the wheel's going to take us out west. That's going to land on the 49ers. They're going to head to the northeast. A little further north would have been an expansion. Instead, they're going to go to Seattle to face the Seahawks. Seattle did a good job hanging with the Niners for a lot of this game, but here in the fourth quarter, Ricky Watters cuts inside, breaks a tackle, scores the touchdown, extending the 49er lead to 28-10. The teams would exchange touchdowns before it was all over. San Francisco is going to walk out of here with a 35-18 victory. The Seahawks left Washington and expanded into a couple of states. They will now cede that territory to the 49ers, growing their land. The 49ers are getting right back on the field. This time they get to play host to the LA Raiders. Third quarter, the Raiders lead 10-7 from the 49er 25-yard line. Jeff Hostetler is going to step back, fire to Tim Brown, able to beat the defense for the touchdown. The Raiders' defense has been excellent to this point, and now the offense has supplemented them. It's 17-7, but that defense is going to be tested by this explosive 49er offense. They move up to the line. The 49ers will run it anyway. That's Ricky Watters. Hasn't had the best game today, but this is an incredible run. And with 30 seconds left in the third quarter, the 49ers have cut the lead down to 17-14. We now jump to the fourth quarter. The Niners have the ball. Raiders side of the field. 3rd and 7. Quick out goes to Brent Jones. It's knocked away. What will the Niners do here on 4th down? They're going to punt it. Okay, not a lot of time left, but they're bringing out Klaus Wilmsmeyer to boot this away. He is under some pressure, but he gets it off, and it's a good punt inside the 5-yard line. Tim Brown tries to return it, but he doesn't get very far. The Raiders now face 2nd down, trying to get out from the shadow of the goal line. Dennis Brown of the Niners breaks through and takes Hostetler down for the safety. Not only is that 2 points, but they get the ball back. Trailing by 1, the Niners line up 1st down. Both teams call audibles. Steve Young drops back on the crosser. Will find Jerry Rice. He picks up many yards after the catch down to the 17-yard line. A few plays later, the Niners at the 5. It's 3rd and goal. The Raiders back up the defense. The Niners change the play call. It's going to be a handoff to Ricky Watters, and he's able to get through for the touchdown. The 49ers have now scored the last 15 points of this game. It is 22-17. The ensuing kickoff will go to Rocket Ismail. He is ready to receive it at the 17-yard line, runs into a crowd, cuts in, breaks a tackle, and now he's using his speed. He gets away from another, and he's getting this back inside the 20 down to the 15-yard line. After a quick gain from the 11-yard line as time is about to expire, the pass goes to Steve Smith. The fullback makes the catch in the back of the end zone. The Raiders are snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. The 49ers collapse at the end. LA takes this game 24-22. Close games are one thing, but this Imperialism is seeing some collapses and is also seeing some stirring comebacks. However you want to classify this, the Raiders win. They take over the 49ers territory, and they are the power now in the West. Our next elimination will cut the field in 1993 in half. The Vikings are chosen. They're going to go to the East. That's going to match them up with the Lions. So we'll see who is the team in the Midwest this season. Safeties for everybody. The Lions lead 7-2. In the third quarter, the Vikings. Jim McMahon is going to find Qadri Ismail in the back of the end zone. The Vikings are retaking the lead here. It's 9-7. We're still in the third quarter. The Lions are in Viking territory. Rodney Peete is going to dump this off to Rodney Holman. He makes a nice catch. That gets it down to about the 21-yard line. Very next play, 3 receivers left. Rodney Pete's going to look right. That's Willie Green. Is getting under it. Stays in bounds. Touchdown, Detroit. So this game was struggling for offense, and all of a sudden, back-to-back touchdowns. 14-9. Now Minnesota facing 4th and goal from the Detroit 9-yard line. McMahon is going to look for Anthony Carter on the slant. They knock it away. It's up to Minnesota's defense to get this back now. 3rd and 3 from midfield. Rodney Peete tries to sneak it. Goes nowhere. Now Minnesota back at their own 20, 1:46 to go. McMahon, he's going to look for Ismail. This combination's been working. He gets it down to midfield. But they're quickly faced with a 4th down. 42 seconds ago, this is for the game for the Vikings. They try Carter. Incomplete. Probably should have gone to Ismail. That combination was definitely working. It was low scoring, but it was close. The Lions take it 14-9. When the Detroit Lions won the NFC North this year, it was their first division title in 30 years. That was this season in 1993. They're proving their mettle after 3 road victories. They defend a homeland on this one. They take over the territory of the Minnesota Vikings, and they are now undisputedly the team in the Midwest. It's a rare event, but without an expansion beforehand, the Patriots are going to be taking the field in Buffalo against the Bills. Second quarter, it's only a 14-7 Buffalo lead. From the New England 40, Jim Kelly, sitting pretty in the pocket, fires it deep downfield looking for Andre Reed, gets him in stride. The Bills extend to a 21-7 lead. They pile it on in this quarter as part of a 35-point first half. The Patriots really never stood a chance in this one. Buffalo wins 49-13. New England's location could not help them this time. They tried to invade Buffalo and they failed. Buffalo will take over their territory, and only the state of New Jersey stands between them and complete dominance over the Northeast. For the first time, this wheel is going to be landing on the Phoenix Cardinals. The arrow is going to take them to the East, and for the first time, we're going to get the 1993 Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys on the field. Dallas leads 21-7 in the third quarter. From their own 40, this pitch goes to Emmitt Smith, meets a couple guys, gets away from them, turns on whatever speed he's got. These corners are trying to catch him. That's not going to happen. He steamrolls both of them. 60-yard touchdown run from Emmitt Smith, part of his 250-yard rushing day. 28-7 quickly became 49-14 Cowboy victory. The Cowboys continue their trek westward. They will take over the state of Arizona, and that is the last time they're going to be known as the Phoenix Cardinals. Starting next season, they're going to be the Arizona Cardinals. We continue to welcome new teams to the field. This will be landing on the Bengals. They only got 2 choices, the Bills or the Lions, and they're heading toward the Lions. It was one of those 4-0 teams this season. The Bengals have to go to Detroit. This game was tied at 14 at the half, but the Lions have taken control in the second half. Rodney Peete out of the shotgun. He's going to find Herman Moore, just gets it across the goal line. Touchdown, Detroit. That's going to send this game to 28-14, and after the Bengals' valiant second quarter efforts, that's all they could get. 28-14 is our final. As we mentioned, both the Bills and the Lions are 4-0 this season. The Lions are now 5-0. They take over the Cincinnati Bengals land and just continue to grow their presence on this map. The Chargers will be taking the field for the first time. They'll make the trip up I-5 to play the LA Raiders. The Chargers cling to a 13-7 lead. LA has the ball. The Chargers back up their defense, anticipating pass. That's what they do. Up to Tim Brown. It's picked off at the 23-yard line. That's linebacker Junior Seau, who was the one who dropped back into coverage, and he takes off, running it back for the 77-yard pick six. The Chargers were in a tenuous spot before that. They have now taken complete control of this game. Each team scores in the fourth quarter to give us our final score of Chargers 27, Raiders 14. The Chargers just keep on their merry winning ways. They will take over the now substantial land of the Raiders and put their stamp on the West. We're now down to 10 teams remaining, with only 3 of those from the NFC. After a good run of expansion here, the Broncos are chosen for the first time, and they'll be taking the field in San Diego against the Chargers. Once these teams took the field for the second half, it became all Denver. They lead this 31-14. That's Derek Russell getting behind the defense, scoring the touchdown, extending the Bronco lead to 38-14. This was part of a 24-point third quarter for Denver. They wind up taking this by a final of 41-20. So any hopes the Chargers had of making another long run in this season's Imperialism were dashed when they played Denver. The Broncos take over the sizable territory of the Chargers, and now there are only 9 teams remaining. After a small expansion earlier in the game, the Jets are going to take the field for the first time. Unfortunately for them, that will be in Buffalo against the Bills. The Jets have been hanging tight with Buffalo, but here in the fourth quarter, Jim Kelly, after the play action, is going to find Andre Reed for the touchdown. Nice play by those guys. Don't be mistaken, though. It's Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith that took over this game. That score made it 21-10. Our final score will be Buffalo 28, the Jets 13. The Jets' invasion of Buffalo was unsuccessful. The Bills take over their territory, and now only 2 teams have yet to see the field, the Chiefs and the Giants, who have not been called upon at all. The Oilers push through Arkansas and invade the territory of the Kansas City Chiefs, getting them onto the field for the first time. This is a rematch of the 1993 AFC Divisional Round game that the Chiefs won in an upset. Can they do it again? The Oilers storm back from 20-3 to make it 20-17. But Kansas City has an answer. Kimball Anders follows his blocks on 3rd and goal, enters the end zone, making it 27-17. The Oilers tried to fight back, but the Chiefs had an answer every time through. 37-24 is our final score. The Chiefs were able to win this rematch, proving that it maybe wasn't as big as an upset as we thought. They will take over the Oilers' territory, and this is the end of an era a little bit here. This is the last time under the Oiler name and in the city of Houston that they made the playoffs and had a winning record. They'll still stick around in Imperialism, but it won't be the same. This is going to be a very quick path to our next game. The wheel lands on the Giants, and there is nowhere for them to go. They're surrounded by the Bills. The Giants become the last team to take the field in 1993, and this is a top 5 matchup. Just behind midfield on their opening drive, Jim Kelly in shotgun for the Bills. Looks down the field. He's going to find his tight end, Pete Metzelaars, makes a great catch. First down for the Bills. The Giants D tightens up. It's 3rd and 13. Kelly looks for Andre Reed. Too much coverage there. Steve Christie comes out for the 49-yard field goal. It's good. The Bills will take a 3-0 lead. A tight defensive game coming through here late in the second quarter. Phil Simms, play action, rollout, throws deep. Chris Callaway will make the catch. Can he get to the end zone? Now can he get down before the clock expires? 1 second to go. Gets it done. David Treadwell comes out for the field goal. Shaky, but he makes it. This is a great game despite the low score. It's 3-3. Buffalo has 2nd and 14. Both teams are changing it up. From the 24, the pitch goes to Thurman Thomas. The Giants defense didn't look ready for that. Gets in for the touchdown. The Bills, this is a tight game, take the lead 10-3. They have the ball once again. Later in the third quarter, they're at midfield. Jim Kelly, he's going to look for Bill Brooks. Didn't see the coverage there. Greg Jackson will pick it off. Didn't see the coverage there. The Giants can't do much with it yet. It's 3rd and 11. This is an important play for them. Phil Simms finds Mark Jackson. Great catch. Gets it down to the 31. Leads to a field goal. 10-6 Buffalo. It's 3rd and 14. And they look like they're going to run this to Thurman Thomas. And he's able to pick up some yardage. Gets the first down to the 20-yard line. The Bills now have it 3rd and goal at the 10. They're going to go to Thomas. No, play action. Andre Reed's open, but the defender comes in, knocks it away. Steve Christie's going to come out for a 29-yard field goal. Puts it up, but it's no good. The Giants will have a chance to take the lead. From their own 36-yard line, the pitch will go to Lewis Tillman. Gets around the end, gets around another defender, picks up the first down. The Giants now face 2nd and 4 from the Buffalo 47. They're going to drop back the pass. They're looking deep to Mark Jackson. Too much coverage. It's now 4th and 1. 43 seconds to go. Little out route for Rodney Hampton's incomplete. The Bills can run it down. They're going to win this game by a final score of 10-6. This is going to be me talking here just for a second. Low-scoring games are not automatically poor, and high-scoring games aren't automatically great. This game was gritty, it was tough, the offenses were able to move the ball, but the defenses made huge stops as well. Timely turnovers played a part. The Bills were able to hold on and win a game that they're not really accustomed to. They take the Giants off the map. We now have 6 teams remaining. All of these teams have won a game, but no one's close to the Lions' 5 victories and the Bills' 6. These next spins are going to bring us a photo finish. The Kansas City Chiefs will head to the northwest, and as we can see, that will just bypass the state of Nebraska and send them into Detroit to play the Lions. Both teams were kicking field goals to start this game. The Lions lead 6-3 in the second quarter. This pass to Herman Moore uses his size to his advantage to come down with the ball. The Lions have jumped out at home to a 13-3 lead. Kansas City now looking to respond. Taking it down to the 31-yard line. Marcus Allen goes up the middle. No one's able to get him. The defense collapsed, and Allen runs through, and he just breaks the plane of the goal line. That was Kansas City's first touchdown of the game. 13-10. It's now 13-13. Third quarter from the 20-yard line. They're going to go up the middle again, and it works again. This is Kimball Anders. He gets it down to about the 3-yard line. Joe Montana, after a rollout, will find J.J. Burden back in the end zone for the touchdown. That's going to give the Chiefs now their first lead of the game, 20-13. Their defense gets the ball right back. Montana will once again find J.J. Burden. And the Lions, who had control of this game, have let it slip through their fingers. The Chiefs lead 27-13. The Lions score one very late. Kansas City comes away with the victory, 27-20. The reigning Imperialism champion Kansas City Chiefs continue to find ways to win. The Lions had a nice run, but it comes to an end. The Chiefs take over their territory, and only the Dallas Cowboys remain from the NFC. After 4 more games, we're going to be crowning a 93 champion. The Dolphins are selected on the wheel. They're going to head to the Northwest. That's going to send them to play the Kansas City Chiefs. Tied at 7 late in the first half, the Dolphins are going to be forced to punt. They're holding it too long. The Chiefs break the line, block the punt. Joe Phillips is going to pick it up, try to run it back in, but he can't do it. So the Chiefs, with 14 seconds left, are going to send Nick Lowry out for the field goal. This will give the Chiefs a lead if he can make it from 32 yards out. Snaps up, holds up, kicks up, and it's no good. So with little time left, will Miami try to do something here? From the 20-yard line, only 14 seconds to go. Scott Mitchell is going to look for Mark Ingram, makes the catch. They call timeout with a second left. After that 15-yard gain from the 35-yard line, Mitchell's going to drop back. He's going to go deep to Mark Ingram. Where is the Chiefs' defense? Makes the catch and strided to race to the end zone. What a collapse by the Chiefs to give up a 65-yard touchdown at the end of the half when they had the ball with under 20 seconds to go. But now the Chiefs are looking to come back, making up for this error. Joe Montana looks downfield. He's going to look for Willie Davis. He's going to make the catch and score the touchdown. Incredible play there. The Chiefs massage over the mistake they made. They're tied up at 14. Now the Dolphins face 3rd and 10 deep in KC territory. Derek Thomas breaks through, gets the sack. Pete Stoyanovich, 45-yard field goal attempt is good. The Dolphins lead 17-14. The Chiefs in the fourth quarter, 2:41 to go. Looking for the comeback. The pitch goes to Marcus Allen, trying to get the first down. He looks like he does, but that ball is loose. J.B. Brown forces the fumble. The Dolphins pick it up. They're not going down. Breaking off from the 50, getting it down to about the 35-yard line. A few plays later, Scott Mitchell is going to look for Irvin Fryer, and he makes the catch. Touchdown Miami, 24-14. The Chiefs' self-inflicted wounds undo them in the end. The Dolphins hold on with that score, winning this game 24-14. The Kansas City Chiefs were Imperialism champions in 92, runners-up in 91. Here they fall just short of the Final Four. The Miami Dolphins will take over their territory. They are kings of the Midwest somehow, and again, we are down to just 4 teams. The Dallas Cowboys are heading to Miami to face the Dolphins. This is going to be a rematch of 1993's infamous Thanksgiving Day game between these two teams, otherwise known as the Leon Lett game. Let's see how the rematch turns out. The Cowboys lead 17-7, but the Dolphins are on the comeback trail. From their own 36, Scott Mitchell is swallowed whole by Tony Tolbert. This ball is picked up by Ken Norton, and he's able to run it back in for the touchdown. That will put the stymie on Miami's comeback attempt. That makes the score 24-7. Dallas tacks on 2 more touchdowns in the third quarter alone. They come away with the blowout victory, 38-7. Despite losing that game at home to the Dolphins on Thanksgiving Day, the Cowboys went on to win the Super Bowl. They win this game against the Dolphins, they take over their land, and they are definitely the favorite to take Imperialism. The way the map is set up though, they're guaranteed to play in the next game. Let's not waste any time. The wheel will land on the Broncos. They're going to head south and catch the western portion of Arizona. That's going to send them to face the Dallas Cowboys. For the second straight season, the Buffalo Bills will be in the Imperialism Championship game. Will they be having a Super Bowl rematch with the Cowboys, or will they face off with their AFC brethren, the Broncos? Let's find out. Very early in the game, the Cowboys quickly get past midfield. This pitch goes out to Emmitt Smith. His first carry of the game goes down for a 1-yard loss, but this is a big injury. The Cowboys started the season 0-2 in '93 when Emmitt Smith was out. They need him. They trail 10-0 here, deep in their own territory. Troy Aikman is sacked. The ball is loose. The Cowboys will fall on it for the safety, though. That makes it 12-0. It is now 15-0. In the third quarter, this pitch goes to Rod Bernstein, gets around the end, and he's able to score. The Cowboys' offense has been completely stagnant without Emmitt Smith. They now trail 22-0. Given that offensive stagnation, the Cowboys have decided now to just throw the ball up. From the 42-yard line, this pass from Troy Aikman goes to Alvin Harper for the 42-yard touchdown. Now, early in the fourth quarter, this touchdown pass goes to Michael Irvin. So the Cowboys have found life. They trail 22-14. It's up to the defense, but the Broncos have driven the ball down to the 17-yard line. Glenn Milburn takes the handoff, uses some moves, uses some speed, and gets into the end zone. That will put a halt to the Cowboys' momentum. The Broncos lead 29-14. They concede one very late before the game ended. They go into Dallas and win this game 29-21. That will set up this incredible Imperialism Championship game. From 1986 to 1993, a span of 8 seasons, these two teams combined to lose 7 of those 8 Super Bowls. They will now play each other in Imperialism. One of them will be the champion. One of them will become a first-time Imperialism champion. We need to spin this wheel and find out where this game's going to be. And that spin will be landing on the Buffalo Bills, sending them to Denver for this game. Which team will break years of heartbreak and win Imperialism in 1993? Late in the first quarter, the Bills on their own 34-yard line. This is play action up the middle to Thurman Thomas. The Broncos defense loses sight of him. He makes the catch down the field, gets about 40 yards of yak, and on that incredible 66-yard touchdown, the Bills have opened the scoring in this game. Their defense gets them the ball back very quickly with 2 Bruce Smith sacks. They have it at their own 43-yard line. After some motion, Jim Kelly is going to look downfield, gets rid of the pass to Bill Brooks. He gets it down to inside the 15-yard line, a 45-yard gain. Very next play, it's 1st and 10 from the 12. Kelly drops back, dumps it off to Thurman Thomas. He does the rest. That's Thomas's second touchdown reception of the game. The Bills extend to 14-0. Denver does pull back a field goal. It is now 14-3 in the third quarter. From the 29, play action to Thomas. They cover him this time. Kelly goes to Don Beebe, makes an incredible diving catch, stays in bounds, gets the touchdown. The Buffalo Bills offense exploded all over this game. They go on to win it 31-10. In the season where the Buffalo Bills lost their 4th consecutive Super Bowl, they get some redemption here in Imperialism, finally taking down the crown and taking over the United States as champions. The Dallas Cowboys won back-to-back Super Bowls in 1992 and 93, but Imperialism hasn't come as easily. This time the Buffalo Bills got the Duke, and after it looked like a Super Bowl rematch with Dallas was on the docket, it was instead the Denver Broncos who made it to the title game. While the Bills won their first Imperialism championship, the Broncos took their second title game loss following their 1971 defeat. Throughout the Bills' 4-year run, their roster stayed relatively the same. This is the team they won Imperialism with. They went to more of a 3-receiver set with Andre Reed, Don Beebe, and Bill Brooks supplementing Thurman Thomas, who proved his own worth as a receiver in the running game. The offensive line did lose Will Wolford to free agency, but Kent Hull and Howard Ballard remained to anchor this talented bunch. The defense was top-notch across the board, but the clear linchpin is the NFL's all-time sack leader, Bruce Smith. In this season's Imperialism, whenever the Bills needed something on defense, it was usually Smith stepping up to get the sack or force a pass early. The secondary made their fair share of stops as well, led by corner Nate Odoms and safety Henry Jones. 1993's games were quite streaky, with the home team winning several in a row to start, following by the invading team doing the same. Games in the first half weren't particularly close on average, but it ended with the Raiders' stupefying walk-off victory in San Francisco. More action and closer action arrived in the second half of games. It's here where the Lions ended their run, the Chiefs conceded their crown, and the Bills closed things out as part of a 5-game winning streak by the visiting team. Only 11 teams were able to notch a victory this season, but 7 of those teams got on the board more than once. A Bills-Lions showdown at times seemed inevitable, but even though the Lions didn't make it there, they grabbed 5 victories. Yet the Bills led the pack with their 7 overall wins. That pushed them to an overall winning record at 31-27. The Chiefs joined the winning ranks as well, with a record-high 13 teams now above 500. Dallas inched closer to Minnesota at the top, but haven't quite caught them yet. They both remain more than 10 wins ahead of San Francisco and Detroit in 3rd and 4th place respectively. Thank you for joining us for 1993 Imperialism. 1994 will be just around the corner. By making it this far, I can hopefully presume that you enjoyed the video. Give it a like if you did, share it with some friends, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. This is the sight that fans of the Buffalo Bills during the 1990s have longed to see. They finally conquered the mountaintop, and in doing so, they conquered the United States. Once again, the Buffalo Bills are the Imperialism champions of 1993. Thank you so much again for watching, and until next time, I hope you have an awesome day.